Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Running a Race. Today's episode is titled Fear of Losing. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. Start out with Jeremiah 8:6. It says, I have paid attention and listened, but they have not spoken rightly. No man relents of his evil, saying, what have I done? Everyone turns to his own course, like a horse plunging headlong into battle. When I was thinking about this, and just reading about it, I had in the fact that it was course, as in like a race course. We refer to it as running our race, race of life, right? Everyone turns to his own course. And those ideas together, it really just helped me understand that like people, we can follow other people's ideas, but it may not lead us into the correct idea or the winning idea, we could say, because of the title. But if we see here, it says they have not spoken rightly. So that means if they're not doing what's right, they're doing what's wrong. And me personally, I think when I've seen people doing wrong things, it has discouraged me to a certain extent, especially considering this race, right? But we also hear it all the time on social media, sometimes you'll be scrolling and they'll be like, oh, this is the reason I left church or I left Christianity. And it's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but just because that is the course that someone else is running, not necessarily the course that you're supposed to take. And of course, we have to think about it. Seeing other people lose or give up on their race, it's disheartening, it's disheartening to see it, but we can't let that be our perception. So this is like an episode of, I titled it Fear of Losing, but the point of it is to inspire anyone who's watching, anyone who's listening, to not lose and to not give up, or to not just throw the towel or follow what's trending because other people are doing it. It says here, everyone turns to his own course. Man, if we turn to our own course, what is that going to lead us to? It's not going to lead us to our original objective. And with that being said, I believe I've read this verse before, and if I haven't, then I've definitely come across it before. And it's Ecclesiastes 9:11. And it says, again I saw that under the sun the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happen to them all. Get into the last one about how everyone chose their own course. Here we see time and chance happen to them all. When I think about that specific part of the verse, I think about how a lot of people, and I know I've touched this point before, think I can sin today, repent tomorrow, get right with God tomorrow. I can go clubbing today. I can go, do any amount of thing that I feel like I could do today. And by chance, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to be able to repent for it. I'm going to be able to make up for it. I'm going to get right with God and everything's going to be good. But the fact is, we really don't know. He could come right now in this very moment. And I live with that consciousness. Like, yeah, I could do something right now and it could alter my entire race, my entire course, tying it into these last two verses, right? But what good is that if I really don't know what the next second is, what the next moment is? I could throw it all away, throw all my progress away in the race. I could lose my race, and just for a temporary moment, even though, in the beginning of this verse, it says that the race is not to the swift. So it's not so much about how fast I'm running my race, but about if I'm persevering, if I'm choosing what's right, if I'm going out of my way to not choose to sin, to not choose to stray, to not choose my own course, but to follow the actual right course. When we think about, I didn't put this verse in, but we think about the Bible verse that says the two pathways, right? One is narrow, one is wider. There's not a lot of people in the narrow path, but there is a lot of people in the wider path. Fortunately, in this generation, when you go on social media, you see a lot of people going the wide way and not the narrow way. You see a lot of people leading people who are saying that they're Christians, and unfortunately they are leading them the wide way. They're not leading them the narrow way. What I want to bring this all toward is that we have to make the most of the time that we do have. We really don't know, like I said before, how much time we have, but the race is not to the swift. It's about persevering. Just as a final thing to say, I have Psalms 19:5, and it says, "The sun comes out like a bridegroom from his bedroom. He rejoices like an athlete, eager to run a race." To bring this to a conclusion, we should rejoice. We should be eager to run our race. We shouldn't have that constant, what if we lose? What if in this moment I just choose to go off course and do whatever I want? Pleasures of this world. Focus on the negativity. See how much I can acquire on earth before Jesus comes back. Like, yes, you know what? Have goals. Have things that you want to accomplish in life. But don't put those things at such a high place in your life that you lose the race that really matters. Maybe the race is not to the swift, but we have to keep running with perseverance. Perseverance is what is going to get us to become the winners that we were called to be. God didn't make you to be a loser. God didn't make you to stay trapped in mentalities of this world or stray off course. God made you for so much more, and I just want to leave that in your hearts today. And I pray that this episode is a blessing, and thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.